Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner into a Vanguard deck profile. More of an update actually, as we're just going to be doing a quick overview of my Gear Chronicle deck. I've tweaked it since the last time I posted it. In fact, I think I remember saying in the last video that I wasn't particularly 100% satisfied with the Warp Drive Dragon build, and that I was going to go back to something that combined the TikTok time leap shenanigans of that build with the build that I posted earlier, which was version 1 of Time Leap. So this would be version 3 of Time Leap Gear Chronicle, and this is just my own personal list. And that being said, it's also very standard. I don't think I've deviated too much from what you've seen on other uploads, but I still just wanted to profile this just to show you guys where I'm currently at with the deck, as if I have not been playing 7 Seas Grand Blue, then I've been playing this Gear Chronicle deck since I uploaded those deck profiles back post set 7, there we go. Currently working on Cogro though. I just need to get a playset of Blade Master Titans and some other cards to make the Overlord deck good. So, that being said, let's get right down to it. So, starting Vanguard is still TikTok worker, and I'm still only running 2 copies of it. I tried playing 3 earlier. It was okay, but I really felt like I could have used the extra grade 1 space, as you can always recycle these things through your G Guardians, and I'm also running a grade 1 that recycles cards, so I don't feel like I need the third one. That being said, cards are very good, enables extra attacks, and it has stupid shenanigans with Minimum Upstream Dragon. Those are the grade 3s. It's 4 Chrono Jet Dragon, we all know what he does, 2 Bally, who acts as your Chrono Jet Dragon substitute, and 1 Square 1 Dragon. I still like the one of this. I dropped Metal Glider Dragon. I felt it just really wasn't doing enough for me, whereas this guy's effects are still pretty passable. The big one being is that Metal Glider Dragon costs a Counter Blast, this guy costs Soul Blast on call, and you can combo with this thing even further than you could combo with Metal Glider Dragon. So, otherwise though, you want to be on Chrono Jet most of the time. It's just Bailey allows you to get to Chrono Jet if you can't, and if you have to ride this, it's unfortunate, but you can always just Soul Blast it out later with GG and then put it back into the deck with the effect of your G units slash grade 1. We'll move these over there. Then for the grade 2s, we have 4 History Maker Dragon, who enables most of your battle phase shenanigans. If not him, then it's Phoenix. Swing time of unit doesn't have to be boosted. That's still a key factor now that Overlord's gotten better and has the ability to retire your back row during your battle phase. This guy being able to time leap your units by swinging, even if it's whiffing, still being able to combo in spite of not having a grade 1 booster is very good. So we got him as one of his partners in crime, Upstream Dragon. We all know what he does too. Swing, give him plus 4k. If you do, he goes into the deck and calls a grade 1 at rest, which you will probably use to set up your play for the next turn, or you'll use it to extend your play with this guy or Phoenix. And then running it out, 2 Calibum and 1 Upstream Dragon for spot removal. I am considering Relic Master Dragon. I might put all Nijin back into the deck because of that, but for the time being, I do like these guys for this one having free counterblast options, or well, for not requiring counterblast for his options. You're basically just running this guy to out their starter, and you're running this guy to just out a problematic unit later on in the game. And he can also swing for 11 if you use his effect. And you can also time leap into them. But otherwise, I suppose, yeah, Relic's better for the early game. That being said, let's just move right on to the ones, which I've only changed like 1 or 2 things about it since the last time. So, 4 PGGs, 4 Strides, 3 Tracers. I like this number. 1 and 2 weren't enough, but 4 was too many. 3 is a good number. This means that if you end up having to ride one and you damage check one, you'll still have 1 left in the deck for you to do your combos, which is all I really want. Or you can just hard draw into it or pull it out of the deck through Upstream Dragon. Then 1 Steamworker Atana. I have thought about running the guy that when you call it from the deck, you buff a unit by 5k, but I like this guy for being able to call it out of the deck through Upstream Dragon, then you time leave it and continue your combos. But you can easily make the switch, and I don't think it'll be that much different. You'll just have to alter your play sequence as a result. 1 GG, Soul Blast 2, draw 1. one's enough since you can always recycle it through your card effects. And one Tick Away Dragon, I'm currently testing this out over the third TikTok worker. His effect is, when you call a unit through the effect of Time Leaping, you can take a unit from your drop zone and put it on the bottom of your deck. Now this works both from the call from deck and call back from bind zone, meaning if you happen to be doing the TikTok work, oh, no, this is a bad example. Hang on one second here. Let's do the Atana play actually. So if you do the Atana play, you Time Leap it into a Overwatch Dragon. This guy will proc, putting a card from the bottom of your deck, from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck. Then when TikTok, this guy goes away and Atana comes back, he'll proc again. So that's what makes this card really good. As long as you recycle cards, prevents deck out, gets cards back in the deck for Time Leaping, and it's not it doesn't specify certain cards either, so you can recycle triggers too if you want to potentially sack your opponent with triggers. Speaking of, for the triggers, I'm running the ratio that I talked about earlier, where it was 10 crits, 2 stands, and 4 heals. I like this ratio, and I'm going to be sticking with it. I don't feel like the draw triggers are as important here because you can you can draw through a good amount of your deck with the effects of your Urwatars and your GGs. And I'm not particularly fond of 12 crits too. I do like the Urwatar, Melum, TikTok worker, and History Maker Dragon shenanigans that the deck can pull off. They're very strong if your opponent is at 4 or 5 damage. So I feel like that's still an option that I want to keep open. Then for the G-Zone, I'm now running for next stage. Warp Drive Dragon, I just really wasn't cutting it for me. Like I said, it was by all accounts an inferior card, and I still stand by that. It's good in Chrono Fang, and you'll probably play it in the Chrono Fang deck, especially when we get the new support for it. But for next stage is just by all accounts better. So here we are. And I'm running 4 copies of Chrono Dragon. Chronos Command Revolution. This is just more of a meta call, as we have more decks here that Chronos Command is effective against. So I'm running the 2 copies. If you have more matchups in your area that this guy isn't as particularly bonkers against, you can just cut 2 for. Actually, what would you run as one ofs in this spot? I guess Fate Rider Dragon and then another Fate Rider Dragon, or I don't know what you would run in the last slot, but those are just options. But right now, I'm just running these guys because using Chronos Command against a full board setup or against certain matchups is just really powerful. 2 Phoenix. You know what this guy does. He enables some pretty strong multi-attack shenanigans. 1 Chronos Command Dragon and 1 Sabreeze. You will flip this one with the first Phoenix, and if you're fortunate, you'll be flipping this up with the second Phoenix. Or you'll flip up a G Guardian, you can't use it the other Phoenix. If you're going for the other Phoenix, though, chances are you're trying to go for a game shot, so it's irrelevant if you flip it up or not. And for the G Guards, I cut it down to 4 so I could make room for the extra Chronos Command Dragons. So, not a whole lot different from last time. I just cut the Warp Drive Dragons and the extra G Guards to make room for extra cards that I felt were just better, and they were. So, that's it for the deck itself. Rather short video, but again, it's just an update. You've seen Gear Chronicle deck lists before. I don't think I really need to go into any combos in this one. I did that in the last video, and it's probably best if I just make a separate video for combos. But as far as speculation goes, and what I think could happen to the second in future, obviously people want Gears to get hit in some facet because of how strong they are on the format. Question is though, what could they really do to harm Gears? Next stage is definitely not a problem as far as I'm concerned. It's just a good restanding Vanguard with a Glory as a backup, but we happen to have easier means of defending against the next stage turns now, so I don't think he'll be touched. They might touch Phoenix and put him down to 1, which would limit the effectiveness of your multi-attack shenanigans, as you'd probably want to use this. You want to use this guy as your first turn because he enables Chrono Dragon's GB2 skill, which means if you do that, then you can't use it for another push later down in the game. They could also limit your means of playing certain cards in the deck, like you can't use TikTok Worker in the same deck as Upstream Dragon and Melum, or you can't use Urwatar and Melum in the same deck. It might hit the number of Melums you could use. Like, They could hit a lot of things, but I think this deck would still be able to function regardless of the hits they do to it, just because it's become so potent now. And as far as the future support goes, I'm still not convinced Chrono Fang will be a great deck post new support, but if Rebellion's effect is what I hear it is, it'll be a very good deck. Like, it'll at least be better than Cosmic Heroes are, given that it basically has the same win con as Cosmic Heroes, but it can pull it off a hell of a lot easier while having just inherently better cards to work with because of the time limit mechanic. Deus Ex Machina won't be as good in Chrono Jet as it is in Chrono Fang, but if you can get it off, it's potentially bonkers. And we'll just have to see what Chrono Dragon GG does. I've seen the new Grade 1 for the Chrono Jet deck that got spoiled. On Call, GB1, give a unit 2k, and the new ability of On Hit. When it swings to the Vanguard and hits, you can choose one of your rear guards and time leap it. That might be a good one if I could run in the deck in place of Etana. But otherwise, I'm not particularly impressed by it. I don't like on-hit skills. I never have. Unless the skills are so good, it's worth playing, or the on-hit skills are just like a bonus effect. Anyway, I've gone on too long. I'll wrap it up here and say that I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and if you're playing Gear Chronicle, by all means, give me your thoughts on what they could be doing with this deck and what you'd like to see out of the not only a G booster set, I mean a G clan booster, but also a new trial deck and set 9 support. I know it's a bit much, but we've been here before with Paladins. We can tough it out with Gear Dragons. So, hope you guys enjoyed this again. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, this is Boost Target 9, checking out.